Hare Krishna. Jyotirmayi?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to the Prabhupada. How are you?
To all the devotees. Here is dreadfully hot.
Oh, it's very hot.
I don't know how it's France.
You live in Italy, right?
Yeah, I live in Bologna. It's
okay.
Let me
When you
take the
say,
Bhagavad Gita so I have it close. And
I see. And you're saying it's very hot there.
it's summer.
Yeah, it's summer, yeah.
So what to do? We are
Yeah, I understand.
yeah, at least yeah, it is.
Yeah, Italy is hotter than
So it's
France,
okay.
actually. Yeah, definitely. Here it's mild, it's warm, but sometimes it rains. So
Yes,
it's a mixture of the two. Okay, you're the first one. Let's sing something. Jaya Ram Namadam Kunja Vihari Vijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Hare Krishna. Yes. Actually, you can unmute yourself. It's a good point. I forgot to do. Please unmute yourself. You all unmute yourself. So this way there is no chaos. Jaya Ram Damadam Kunja Vihari. Ram Damadam Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Ram Kunja Vihari.
All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Bhakti Shastri books key. All glories to Shishirada Parishishva. All glories to Krishna Balaram. All glories to Jagannath Baladev Shrimati Subhadra. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Can you hear everyone?
Yeah, we can now, but we weren't able to hear your kirtan.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I guess I messed up with the buttons or something. I guess I unmute myself instead of unmuting you. I'm sorry about that. Let me unmute everyone. Okay, Sorel. Sorel is unmuted. Now you can please unmute yourself. Okay, everyone unmute yourself. Okay, good. So Svagatam, Susvagatam, welcome to all of you. Can you hear now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Jacob, how are you today, Jacob?
Excellent. How are you, Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm fine. So where do you stay already? Where do you live? Jacob.
I'm sorry. Where do I live? Is that
Yes.
what you?
Yes.
Tucson, Arizona, in the United States.
Wow. So it must be very early there.
7 a.m.
Wow, amazing. Everyone is more or less in America except Jyotirmayi in Italy. Sorel in America also?
Yeah, I'm in Tucson as well.
Okay, great. And Ariana, I believe so also. Huh?
I'm in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Usually Florida is the place for the old timers, where
Or people
everyone
born and
retires there.
Yeah, it's true.
My Guru Maharaj used to have his Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He left the world 1 year ago, and he launched a nice project there in Dillon, which is mid Florida, middle of Florida. So I'm trying to see if everyone has come. Who is missing? Quite a few. Anyway, we cannot wait. Like we say in French, punctuality is the politeness of kings. You know this one? If ever, whatever the kings may be, because we had 1500 years, of kingship in France. So at least they may not be always the best kings, but at least they were punctual. So that's a saying in French. Punctuality is the politeness of kings. Okay, sorry. So let's sing some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjara Sharakaya. Shakshu Militam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Shvapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam. Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sa Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Samjivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radhakant Namostute Tapta Kansane Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarugasa Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadigor Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. So 1, 2, 3. We are about 6 of you, right? I thought it was a bigger group. Hare Krishna, Sukumari,
Yes.
and Big Nash. Haribol. Welcome. Swagatam Suswagatam. Yeah, actually, I counted 12 of you, and it seems to me 7 participants. So there's a few. Do they drop out or what is it?
It seems like the numbers have been getting smaller each week.
Yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen, you know. Let me close my thing. My phone is always ringing. No. Okay, so actually, I didn't get all the homework, to tell you frankly. This is a reflection of for those, I guess, perhaps dropped out or changed their mind, I don't know. I got 1, 2, Jacob, Ariana, Jyotirmayi, Sorel, Vignesh, Golokananda Priya, about 6.
And she's not here.
Who?
Ugandan Priya, the last
Oh, Golokananda,
the lady,
she couldn't make it?
the India lady. Yeah, she's not here.
Okay. But at least she turned in her homework, which is fine, which is great. So one thing, I'm just going to put forward some practical details before we move on. When you reply, when you send to me your homework, do it on a fresh email. You know, don't do it in the loop of previous emails. It's a bit confusing because, you know, just open up a fresh page and do it there.
Okay.
Okay. One thing, Vignesh, you are quite extremely good in answering. You're to the point, but put a capital L to Lord. And that's important. Okay, great. So, yes, before we move on, anyone wants to recap? I mean, yes, recap is a good word. Whatever we covered, of course, you guys covered something with Chandrasekhar. Last time you did mantra 1 and I guess invocation. Or mantra 1 and 2, I believe you did. Huh? Someone can quickly, perhaps 1 or 2 of you can perhaps quickly recap what you learned, what you took home from last time.
Prabhuji, I have a question before that. You asked us last time to remind you to sing that song you wanted to sing for the teacher and student.
Thank you very much.
Was that now?
Yeah, it's a very good point. See, I'm quite absent-minded. Thank you, Sukumari. Great.
Sorry to interrupt. There seems to be some people in the waiting room trying to get in.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. 1 person is there. Thank you. Admit. Okay, to admit. Okay, great. Yeah, people should be on time. It's 4:15 here, PM. So yes, thank you, Sukumari. Let's sing that one. I mean, I don't know if I send it to you, to all of you. What I'll do, and Sukumari will do it from next time onwards, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm going to make it a point to really write it down. I wanted to teach you. It's a beautiful verse. Definitely next time I'm going to write it down. Today is, okay, 2 weeks from now. Okay.
actually
yes.
you sent us the song with the first mail.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
definitely, like it's a good reminder, Sukumari. Thank you for that. We'll sing that. It's a beautiful verse. It's auspicious both for the teacher and the students. It creates auspiciousness in the air, in the vibes. Okay, anyone would like to share with all of us what you learned last time with Chandrasekhar?
Sure, I'll go.
Yes, Jacob, go ahead.
Sure. Well, just in summary, we went over the invocation and learned about, how everything is emanating from the Supreme Lord, and all of the units that emanate from him are complete just as he is. And then on to mantra 1, we went over the proprietorship of
Yes.
The Lord over his creation, and how nothing is our property, and that we should act in this consciousness.
Yes.
And that's basically the kind of summary. Obviously, that's just the kind of repeating what the invocation of mantra 1 say. But
okay, that's actually, it seems to me you must have covered 1 and 2, isn't it? Because I'm doing 3 and 4 now.
Yes.
That's correct. Sorry about that.
It's okay, don't worry. Okay, so you did a good job. Yes, it's just a small recap, but you're on the point. Anyone else would like to at least give a little something on 2, mantra 2?
You spoke about how working in Krishna consciousness, we're akarmic, so not bound to material modes of nature and action and reaction. And it was also interesting that when we speak of karmis, we're actually referring to vikarmis, people who completely disregard the rules and regulations. Karmis are actually a step higher. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, vikarmi would be technically the right term, but we should not be so much not complacent, but how do you say? We shouldn't be, what's the adjective? Condescending, yes. Because remember, we were one of them 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever. We were one of them. And actually, I'm going to address this point today because all of you kind of did the same. You were quite, of course, Srila Prabhupada is quite heavy in his purpose of Shri Isho. It's a fact. Huh? But all of you can basically kind of say, well, if you're not a devotee, if you don't surrender to Krishna, basically you're a demon. Which is basically what Prabhupada says. But we will see as we move along those 4 books, especially in the Nectar of Devotion and the Gita, we will learn that there's different levels of adhikaris, eligibility of devotees. What are those 3? Of course, it's not in the class today, I know, but perhaps from your recollection of the Shastra, you may remember what are the 3 adhikaris in terms of devotees? Kanishta,
Madhyama,
and Uttam. So, the Madhyama adhikari is the preacher, basically. He distinguishes between 4 categories. So Lord Krishna, what are the 4 categories he distinguishes amongst the Madhyama adhikari? Of course, it's not in the class, I know. So
the Supreme Lord.
yes.
The devotees.
Yes.
The innocent people and not devious.
The demons, basically, the asuras.
The jealous ones.
Yeah, these the asuras. So, we have to understand a big number of the population, even not only on this planet, but in the universe, are basically innocent. Asura means those who repeatedly, even though they have been contacted by devotees, they have been approached out of mercy, they have been approached, and they keep on refusing the Lord. Then they are the asuras. But look at us before we were a devotee. We were not demons per se. We were innocent. As soon as we connected, it revived our original nature. Immediately we clicked. So, don't be too harsh also. Even though Srila Prabhupada is quite, especially in this ratio, you will see, is quite clean cut. That's a fact. But we should always remember that there's 4 categories: Lord Krishna, the devotees, the innocent, and the asuras, the asuric, the asuras. And of course, they are extremely vehemently against, repeatedly, even though you approach them, no, they become even violent. So they are definitely asura. There's a few of those here, definitely. But, if you take someone in the street, it may not be necessarily an asura. It's just in ignorance, in deep ignorance. He's innocent. As soon as he's connected, he may be totally eager to move forward. Okay, so thank you for your recap. Let's move on. Let's move on into, unless you guys have some questions now pertaining to the book, or even at least pertaining to the book is better. Otherwise, we're going to go all over the world. If you have anything to discuss about what we covered so far in the Shri show, it's a good time to do so. Otherwise, we'll move on into mantra 3. So what I'll do is I'll read out one time, and a few of you can repeat. Asuya namate loka andina tamasavritaha tamste pracha bigachanti yikechatma hano janaha. Perhaps some of you can repeat.
Asuya namate loka adina tamasarvata tamste pritya bijatanti yeke chatma hanojana.
Good. Sorel, would you like to try?
I can try for sure. Asurya namate loka adhina tamasvarta tamste pratyabhingachanti yike katma hano jana.
You must be from a Spanish descent, no?
It's a little bit, yes.
Yeah, I can hear that. Because yeke chatma in Sanskrit, fourth line yeke chatma hano janaha. Cha. In Sanskrit, if you want to pronounce the K sound, you have to put a K. Not a C will become always cha, like TCH cha. Cha. Okay, great. Okay, one more, and then we'll move on. Vignesh, go ahead. You can read out number 3. Or you
must unmute himself.
Yeah, you have to unmute yourself, Vignesh.
Yeah.
You can read out.
You can hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You can read out 3, Sanskrit and English, please.
Asuriya namate loka andhena tamasa vritaha tamste pritya bigachanti yeke cha atmahono janaha. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planet known as the world of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so without further ado, let's move into the questions. How did you find the questions? I know Jyotirmaya told me it's difficult.
Some of them, not all of them, but kind of couple. I left them because
You find them difficult. Okay, anyway, it has to be, basically you have to be on your tiptoes a little bit. If it's too easy, and in life there's 3 zones. There's comfort zone, stress zone and panic zone. So you don't want to be in the panic zone, because obviously who's going to last? But stress zone is good. So you should be in the stress zone in this Bhakti Shastri. Okay, so how does it fit? First question was, how does it fit in the book? Basically, that's a question from the overview. How does it fit in the overview of the Shri show? We're entering into a new subsection, I would say. Some of you answered pretty good on this one. Can anyone venture to answer? How do these two mantras fit in the overview of the Shri Isopanishad?
So mantra 1 was saying how we should act in, what is it? Ishavasya consciousness, recognizing that Krishna is the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
And then mantra 2 tells us more of like what the effect or the quality of that type of work, that it's not bound by the modes of material nature.
Yeah.
Mantra 3 tells us what happens when we don't act in such consciousness, the reciprocation. Our ignorance is being put in a place of ignorance.
Yes.
And then mantra 4 kind of takes a turn, and it's talking about the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. So that person to which we are offering our actions to more about his personhood.
Thank you, Ariana. So yeah, we are entering from mantra 4 onwards, up to 8. It's a detailed description of the Lord as like Gyayam in Sanskrit. Gyayam, it means the knowable. What is the knowable? How he is known by the devotees, the Gyayam aspect. And that only is accessible to Mahabhagwat, or even a good Madhyam. If you're a good Madhyam Adhikari, you can access. So in other words, those who fall into the category of mantra 3, they cannot understand the rest of the Shri Isopanishad. They cannot. They won't, or they may read, but they won't click. They will pass hasty judgments. This is mythology. This is foolishness, etc. Because they cannot access. It's not knowable to them. Why? Because they don't have the proper mentality, the proper demeanor. Okay, good. Thank you, Ariana. So then, yes, so I gave you a note in my homework that we're going to have a debate. Not now, obviously, but perhaps in a few weeks, once we have at the end, pretty much at the end. It's quite fun. I used to do that in Vrindavan or Mayapur when I used to teach face-to-face. And we'll have a debate, we just put up a symposium on TV or something, and one side I will invite the ISKCON devotees. Some of you will be ISKCON devotees. You are already ISKCON devotees. And some of you, like Vignesh volunteered, you will be Mayavadis. So we will debate. And of course, I will give a theme. I will be the MC of that symposium. And you will have to defend your thought. You will have to, philosophically, you will have to defend, to make your point. Mayavadis, you have to be equipped also. Of course, I will help Mayavadis perhaps if they lack of arguments. Srila Prabhupada used to do that a lot, to having mock debate with his disciples. It's very healthy to do that. Srila Prabhupada was very keen to always destroy, to really grind to powder Mayavadism. If you look at all acharyas in our line, ever since practically Jiva Goswami, even further back, they were extremely adamant in dismantling Mayavadism. This is the term, dismantling. So we have to be, Shri Isho is a very good book for that. Practically the most powerful book we have in our reservoir of knowledge. Shri Isho is extremely good if you want to sharpen your tools, how to defeat Mayavadism. It is an excellent little book. So be ready for that. And already, make it a point in your computer or in some textbook to, each time you come across an argument given by Srila Prabhupada, to write it down, just jot it down and use it. Okay. Yes, of course, for those of you who know Bhagavad Gita a little bit, does mantra 3 sound familiar? basically I was asking for cross references. It's important as we move through this Bhakti Shastri that you think of, you build up your repertoire, your repertory of shlokas and of arguments, Of course, we are just starting the Bhakti Shastri, I know, but I'm just giving you some projection. It's important to, there's a thread, you will see after some time, there's a thread moving in. Of course, Shri Isho is parallel to Bhagavad Gita. They go hand in hand. They're both Upanishad, and NOD, NOI move together. So can anyone, does it ring a bell with this mantra Sri? Does it ring a bell with a mantra from Bhagavad Gita or even from elsewhere? Some of you quoted nice verses, Vignesh and even Ariana, you quoted a nice verse. You were not sure, but you put a question mark, but you're right.
Well, only because you had given it later down in the questions. So
okay,
I just copied it.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, it's you're pushing open doors. So yeah, karataha. Yes, definitely. As soon as we act whimsically, assuring doesn't mean having big horns and looking like full of hair. And no, you can be well groomed and be an asur. And basically 1623 in the Gita says kam karataha. As soon as you become whimsical in your performance of spirituality, then basically it's an asuric trait. Okay. Yes, so again, it's a bit redundant here. What's the link with the two previous mantras? We kind of covered that. Na, we discussed in mantra 2, na hanyata ita asti. Golokananda Priya is coming. Na anyata ita asti. There is no alternative for men. See, mantra 2 says that. There is no alternative for men, for women, for living beings, basically. Which alternative is he talking about here in mantra 2? In mantra 2, it says, did you notice in the Sanskrit? What does it say? I just read out. Na anyata ita asti. There is no alternative. We have no choice, basically.
No.
We are talking about which path are we talking about here? Ishavasyam. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yam kincham jagadat jagat. That's the pathway. The whole Shri Isho is unpacked from Shri Ishavasyam idam sarvam. This is the seed verse. It's called the seed, the Bij mantra. You understand this point? Ishavasyam idam sarvam is the Bij mantra, it's the seed. From that seed, when it blossoms, it gives the whole Shri Isho. Remember, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Then, this is the path. Mantra 2 says, there's no choice. If you misuse your free will, then it's mantra 3. There's a price to pay for misusing your free will. It's Asurya Namate Loka, the dwar, the gates of hell opens wide. So there's always a price to pay in life. It's like that. We cannot escape. Either we bow down, either we line up, or there's a heavy price to pay. Heavy. Then, are the hellish planets real or not? What do you think? Of course, everyone can have answers aptly. What is it? It's just a mythological concept to frighten people up, to make sure they follow the path properly, or is it a reality?
May I?
Yes, please. Don't be shy.
Well, according to the Shastra, according to Srila Prabhupada, hellish planets do exist. They are under the earth, so they actually do exist.
Yes.
What is also my point was hellish planets can also be called where the soul actually goes once it left the body, in order to burn the karma that has actually gained during the lifetime, and then it comes back to as a human form in order to be able to advance. We have to have faith in the Shastra and that they say they do exist.
Yes.
But even if they are not real, if they are just, as I say, in a subtle form, okay, but actually that the soul passes through this kind of period, actually that doesn't change something, because the experience of the soul is the same. So they exist according to the Shastra, and they also exist according to in a widest way of seeing things.
Yes. So
that is what I think of.
Yes, I understand. It's it's basically, you're right. It has to be a little more unpacked and developed. First of all, I noticed many of you committed the same mistake. You are comparing the hellish planets. There's about 21. Some people say 21 or 28. You are kind of comparing them with the lower planetary systems. Be careful, it's totally different. You find there's 14 planetary systems. We are on which planetary system, by the way?
The middle.
Yes, yeah. Very good. We sing them for those who are, who have Gayatri mantras, Om Bhur Bhuva Swa. So we are Bhur. So it's middle one, the seventh one. So below our planetary system, you find 7 low ones. It doesn't mean that this is hell. Be careful. This is not hell. Below the lower planetary systems, you will find Narak. Narak means hell. And basically, it's Yamlok. Yamlok means the planet of Yamaraj. And this is called Pluton. You at school we learned about the planetary system. And Pluton, you have heard of this planet, Pluton. Pluton is hell, basically. So there's description in the 5th canto. Some of you quoted 5th canto, like Big Mesh and others. Well done. But they do exist. Everything is crystal clear in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So now,
can I ask something?
Please.
Two questions. The Pluto, the planet, is that where Yamaraj lives, or just a?
Yes, he lives there.
Okay.
This is the southernmost. This is southern part of the universe. Hare Krishna, Golokananda Priya, Mataji, welcome. Most welcome.
So that's the planet, that's the Pitriloka.
No, be careful. Don't confuse.
I sometimes heard
Pitriloka is
that's not
the planet of the ancestors. It's below. So it's a very good point, actually. You're drawing up. Don't confuse the two. You find the lower planetary systems, then the Narak, basically hell, and then Pitrilok, and then Gabudak Ocean. Of course, Anantashesh is there.
Okay.
Anantashesh is there. Okay.
And
yes.
I'm sorry.
Sukumari, go ahead.
Yeah, my second question then was about the difference between the lower planetary systems and the hellish planets. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's not the topic of the question, but briefly, of the class.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Because I just thought that the lower planets are in darkness and ignorance as well.
Yeah.
So I got a bit confused there.
Many of you made a mistake, I noticed. At least from those who answered. So that's what I'm saying, again, I'm just repeating myself. When you the purpose of this homework is basically for you to, use your brain and delve into the purports. Even if you are wrong, like on this particular issue, you're a little wrong, doesn't matter. On the contrary, it helps to go deeper amongst ourselves, If you don't do anything at all, then there is no question for me to locate your discrepancies. So by doing the homework, even if you fail, doesn't matter. At least we can unturn all the stones and address those issues, So basically, the lower planetary systems are inhabited by jivatmas, distinct souls with a lower consciousness. The further down you go, the less spiritually evolved they are. But in terms of technology, they bypass our planet by manyfold. Very noisy. So, like for instance, Shri Prabhupada did say that all the aliens that we see, it's quite a common occurrence for the last so many decades. Ever since, for decades now, we've been hearing of, UFO in English, UFO. Oftentimes, Prabhupada did say, yes, they are coming from lower planets. Technologically, they're extremely advanced. You can see they can cross the vastness of the sky in no time. They're much more advanced than us. But spiritually, they are quite isolated and quite distant from the Lord. They don't have this drive. So again, they are equipped with low consciousness. It doesn't mean it's hell. It's hell in and of itself because you are separated from Krishna. So that's hell in one sense, definitely. But hell is a different region altogether. Again, it's Pluto, it's Yamlok, and it's in the southern part of the universe. Is that okay, Sukumari? If you stick to this Bhakti Shastra, then you do Bhakti Vibhav. I'll do also Bhakti Vibhav with you. Then we'll go into deep details when it comes to fifth canto. Okay, so what distinguishes the suras from the asuras? We kind of answered that. Kamakarata. Yes. Okay. Yes, of course. I notice you guys tend to answer, like Vignesh is always extremely fluid and loaded with very good answers, even beyond the scope of this Bhakti Shastri. But don't overlook the purport. Everything is there in the purport. So especially first of all, we are expecting excerpts from the purport in answers. And then if you may add up to it, cross references, it's fine. So I was kind of hinting at the fact in this question, difference between asuras and suras, that, like Prabhupada used to say in that purport of Shri, human life entails more responsibilities. Can someone may develop on this one? Human life entails more responsibilities. And Sri Prabhupada gives a beautiful answer, analogy, about the clerk. Remember the clerk analogy? Anyone wants to share the clerk analogy in Mantra 3? You guys read the purport or not?
Yes, we did.
So it's just evaporated. There's a beautiful analogy, the analogy of the high-ranking government officer and the clerk. I don't know if you remember this one.
I can read a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Read out this section.
Which paragraph?
Yeah, basically it says they are swine, dogs, camels, asses.
I saw it. Yeah, there are swine, dogs, camel, asses, etc., whose economic necessities are just as important to them as ours or to us. But the economic problems of these animals are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. The human being is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the law of nature, because the human form of life is more important and valuable than animal life. Why is man given a better life than that of a swine and other animal? Why is a highly placed government servant given better facilities than those of an ordinary clerk? The answer is that a highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Similarly, the duties human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals, who are always engaged in simply feeding the hungry stomachs.
Thank you.
Yet modern souls
It's fine.
in
It's fine, Mataji. Who?
civilization has
It's
only
enough. It's
increased
okay.
the problem of the
Can you hear?
hungry stomach.
she won't stop.
When we approach a police animal in the form of modern
Who is speaking?
civilized men and ask him to take interest in
Hare
self-realization,
Krishna.
he will say that he simply wants to work to satisfy his stomach and that there is no need for self-realization.
Thank you very much. Is it Golokananda Priya
A hungry man.
speaking?
The law of nature.
Who is speaking actually?
Golokananda Priya Prabhu.
Yeah. You were reading just now? Were you the one reading? Who was reading actually? The voice was quite distorted.
I think there was some network lag, I suppose.
Sorry, Vignesh?
There was some network lag, I suppose, because of which there seems to be some issue.
Yeah. But who was reading actually?
Golokananda
Oh, no,
Priya.
I'm not speaking. I just finished reading.
There's something with
I just
some
finished.
distortion from your.
Yeah.
Definitely. Whoever read, there was some
Yeah,
distortion.
I was reading. There are swine and dogs.
Golokananda Priya was reading, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, I mean, that's
It's
quite
me.
straightforward. Huh? Any question on this?
Did you hear me?
Sorry?
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, obviously, we cannot get it both ways, as we say.
Yes.
We cannot get it both ways. You want to be a refined person, then you obviously it's incumbent. It is incumbent in fulfilling higher levels of responsibilities. Just like you want to be better paid at work, you want to move on the social ladder, then your work is going to increase. It's very simple to understand. And of course, now we, like Druta Karma Prabhu used to say, it's not evolution, it's devolution. And there's a book, he wrote a book, Human Devolution. We are going down, we're not going up. According to Krishna consciousness standards, we are going down by a big time. So yes, we have to check the imbalance of this human society by propagating, by pumping in Krishna consciousness. What is the Atmaha? Anyone?
It's translated as killer of the soul.
Yeah, definitely. What does it mean? Because I was under the impression we cannot kill the soul.
A person that does not
Sorry?
fully utilize his. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. A person that does not fully utilize his life for self-realizations. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he's throwing his life out of the window.
Definitely. Yeah, in that sense is Atmaha. And it's quite a simple formula. How do you want to distinguish? You know, it's Maharaj Parikshit brings the point in Shrimad Bhagavatam. Nivrita tarshe upagiya manash. If we cannot glorify both, you cannot glorify the material world and Krishna. You have to make a choice. Nivrita tarshe upagiya manas means you have to be finished with glorification of this world, like lust, material activities. And on the contrary, if you're attracted to Krishna consciousness, especially in terms of Krishna Katha, Maharaj Parikshit, beginning of the 10th canto, 10.1.4, Bhavoshada Shrotamanu Biramat, is saying this is Bhavoshada. It's a beautiful expression. Bhavoshada means a medicinal herb. You know, you are sick, so you're going to take Ayurvedic medicinal herbs to cure yourself. So what is the medicinal herb in terms of healing, the soul? The soul is always pure, you may say, but in terms of healing the consciousness is Krishna Katha, because Biramat is very pleasing to the ear and the heart. So someone who has no taste, you can well conclude that this is Asur. You may be innocent, you may be full of ignorance, but if you have a little taste, you're not an Asur. Very simple, you know. Someone may be even eating meat. I remember one time I sold books for 10 years. I sold a set of Shrimad Bhagavatam to someone. You know what was his job like? He would remove the bones from the pigs in the slaughterhouse. Can you imagine his job? And I met him I was doing door to door. That's his job. What do you do in life? I demon, how do you say, how do you say? I forgot the term. You remove the bones from the pigs. What kind of job is this? And he took the Shrimad Bhagavatam. So you may say, well, he's an Asur, look at his job. But he took Shrimad Bhagavatam. He's not an Asur, he's an innocent. Into heavy tamagun. But still, he took the Shrimad Bhagavatam. So, Kotama Shloga Gunanuvadat, Puman Virajita Vina Pashunat. Someone who has no attraction for hearing Krishna Katha, either from Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, or from other devotees, then Pashugna. Pashugna means Hatmaha. Pashu means animal. Gna means Vinakshan. Vinakshan means to destroy, to kill. So, Pashugna, Hatmaha, same. They have no taste. They are killing themselves. It's like a spiritual suicide. It's extremely detrimental for the... That is why basically Srila Prabhupada used to say, we have opened this ISKCON just to give a chance for them to hear. Very simple formula, just hear. You don't have to pay, just hear. Sit and hear. When you're tired of hearing, take prasad and again hear. Finish. This is Krishna consciousness. Huh? It's very simple. Anyone would like to add up anything, Vignesh? You quoted a nice verse in your answer from the 11th canto.
Yes, Prabhu. Basically, I think when I read the second paragraph of the purport, it just related to that exact verse in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada paraphrases that 11th canto verse.
He paraphrases the same verse,
Yeah.
which is 11.20.17.
11:20 something, so 37 perhaps, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that's clear, Atmaha. So what is the irony about the proper usage of human life in terms of work and the misuse of it? Basically, you know, how do I come across my questions for the homework? I just read the purport. And as I read the purport, it inspires me to draw on a particular issue, a particular tatwa, and from that I make a question, you know. So once you are, if you stick to the purport, you can answer everything right, basically. What is the irony about the proper usage of human life? People don't want to work. No one wants to work hard. But at the end of the day, everyone is working hard. Why is that? Anyone would like to shed some light on this one? As soon as there is let's say a day off on Thursday, especially in France, everyone's going to tell the boss, oh, we can take Friday off, sir, because Thursday and Saturday, Sunday is off. So can we take the day off? Isn't that the same in America?
People work 7 days also in America.
Yeah, actually.
6 days, 7 days.
Yeah.
They work very hard.
Yes, they want to party and have
But
fun.
most people they work 40 hours per week.
40 hours a week you work there in America. So, but even less in France. They hate working. They always, you know, trade unions campaigning, less work, less hours. No, I teach Aritosha. Use your brain. Meet my boy, perhaps, at least. Come and say hello. He's always here to misdeed, but when it comes to. So basically, no one wants to work. And at the end of the day, they end up working like anything. Why is that? Is it that Krishna is cruel? What does Prabhupada say in the purport of Sri on this one?
Prabhu, can I say?
Yes, go ahead.
See, when I read the purport, there is a sentence like which states, if we do not care for the self-realization, laws of nature forces us to work very hard.
Yes.
Even though we may not want to do so.
Exactly.
I think that sums up all the issue that we are facing today.
Yes, that's exactly the irony I wanted to bring forth, sorry. It's quite ironical, isn't it? In other words, Kamana Devanitrina will be forced by the laws, the stringent laws of nature. We cannot escape. This is the thing. The only person who can tackle, who can undo the laws of nature is Lord Krishna. There's no other persons. Even Lord Shiva cannot do so. There's a word muktir. What is that verse? Vignesh, you may know in the 5th canto. I'm forgetting the verse, but even Lord Shiva is saying, I don't have the power to release the living entity from the tabernacle, the shackles. We are totally shackled up, tied up. On the contrary, if we act smoothly according to the laws of God, as far as we can, we may have some idiosyncrasies here and there, but you will see people who are in the mode of goodness, even maturely. Look at them; they don't work, they don't toil so hard. You know, they have a nice job. They do sports. They spend time with their family because they know how to navigate themselves in material energy. What to speak of a devotee? What to speak of a devotee? You may say, well, the devotee is working hard. Yes, true. But he is not forced by the laws of nature, is he? No. because he's very concerned out of mercy and compassion. Yes, I want to help my guru. I want to help Srila Prabhupada do something before I die. Time is ticking away. So let me do something. But it's not prompted by the laws of nature. You follow? Okay, let's move on. So what's the difference?
Actually,
yes, go ahead.
if you allow me, Prabhu,
Yes.
I would. This attaches on we did last week. Actually, it is explaining what are the laws of nature in a kind of way we cannot escape them, and what is the only way to escape them. So it attaches very much to that explanation.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, Srila Prabhupada very commonly said, you're a good citizen, you don't care of the police. Well, even the police is working next to you. That, by the way, he's saying, Prabhupada, something very interesting. He said, when you see the police, isn't it that you stiffen a little bit inside? Or does it happen to you? When you see, let's say, the police around the corner walking down the road close to you, do you have any stiffness in you? Certainly.
No.
Definitely not.
No, so Jyotirmaya has nothing because she's pure, because she's well situated. But in case, you happen to have something, a little stiffness or a little apprehension, I would say, well, it's because we are guilty somewhere. But a good citizen doesn't care. On the contrary, he's joked with them. He has nothing to reproach himself. So,
well, to be honest, when I went to Mumbai and I did cross the police, I did feel kind of weird, because not that I am not pure, but they are not pure. So that actually made me kind of tingle inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we abide by the laws, then we don't have to worry. Okay, so basically, yes, difference between fallen devotee and non-devotee. Srila Prabhupada draws a nice contrast, yes, between the two. Anyone wants to share? Perhaps let me ask someone who didn't speak at all. Karuna Kishori, would you like to share on this one? What's the difference between a non-devotee and a fallen devotee?
So a non-devotee is someone who doesn't even try to take up any kind of path of self-realization or trying to understand their relationship with Krishna.
Yes.
And then someone who is fallen, they have made some attempt, some effort in this life or a previous life to progress in this way.
Yes.
So even if they don't make it, they are given a better chance in their next life from which they can advance. Okay. And someone who's never taken up this path, they are completely bound by their karma, and they're in danger of falling down to lower.
Straighter, definitely. By the way, I didn't get your homework this week.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't have time to do it.
By the way, thank you to put me on this track. I had forgotten. I only remind you that the turning in of your homework on time will be considered part of your final markings a little bit. Huh? So bear in mind that it's going to be part of the markings, how far you turn in your papers on time. I mean, it's not a big coefficient, but it will be there. Thank you, Karuna Kishori. So definitely, it's obvious. It's obvious that, 41, 43 in the guitar, Suchinam Srimatam Gehe, we are giving another chance. We don't lose out. Nehabikram Nashatosti Pratyavayana Vidyate, 240, 241 perhaps. Krishna says, it is the advancement will free us from the most dangerous type of fear. Namely, what is the most dangerous type of fear? 240. What does it mean, the most dangerous type of fear? Do you know? It means to regress into lower species of life. At least if you take prasad, if you at least once or twice, you cannot become an animal again. You may take birth again, definitely. You're not ready to go back, but you are spared from becoming an animal again. That's a great boon. But if you don't even make an attempt, then you are guilty. Again, if you haven't been shown the path, like I used to live in America almost 5 years, I never met the devotees. Can you imagine? Never. Way back in the 70s and bit 80s. It's only when I came back to France that I met the devotees. So, Krishna is sometimes doesn't make the arrangement. But if I had refused, let's say I made the devotees and I keep on refusing, then it's asuric. That's the point I wanted to make from the beginning. No? Then I have to pay the price for that. There's a verse in the 11th canto. I think it's 11.5.3. Yeah. Yaisham purusham sakshat atma prabhavam ishvaram nabhajantya vajananti stanat brashta patantyadaha. If even part of the Vanashram, you willingly, intentionally disrespect Krishna, or don't worship him, or you fail to worship him, well, there's no need. I'm doing my Vanashram duty, it's good enough. Then you go to Narak. In other words, you know better, but you don't do it. That's Asurik. Okay, mantra 4. Let's move on. Someone can read mantra 4. Okay, we haven't heard from whom here. Jacob.
Did you want me to do the Sanskrit and the English? Or?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, my Sanskrit isn't so good, so I'll try. Anijarekam manaso javiyo naina deva apnuvan purvamarsat tadavato nyan etyati tishtat tasmin apo matarisva dadhati. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence.
Yeah, definitely. So again, we're entering from 4 onwards, we're entering a different section. How the Lord is, according to your overview, how the Lord is fathomable. You may say he's unfathomable. Yes, correct. But he somewhat becomes knowable, fathomable, if you move towards Mahabhagwat, or at least if you move towards Madhyamadikari, then reveals himself. And of course, the first question I asked, which was an open door, basically, what is immediately right from the outset, Srila Prabhupada decries particular approach towards the absolute truth. What is it?
He tells us that we can't reach the Lord through mental speculation. Definitely. And only through his mercy is he knowable.
Yeah, definitely. Nayam atma pravachanena labyo na bedaya na bahuna shrutina. Only, it's a beautiful verse from the Upanishad, not this one. Nayam atma pravachanena labyo, even by brain power, even by assiduous hearing, you cannot access. Only if he condescends, this is the right verb, if he condescends to reveal himself, tanum swam, his own form. Yes, I'm going to reveal myself. You cannot crash yourself in the spiritual world, gate crash yourself. Doesn't work. Well, I know the whole Gita, I know the Chaturvedi, Trivedi by heart. It doesn't work like that. Pantastu koti shata, sampragamyo. The mind is flickering. There's no way you can access the mind with your mind to Krishna. It's impossible. Krishna is beyond. This is the purpose of this verse. He's swifter than the mind. Can you give an example of that? Swifter than the mind? Simple example. Every day what do we do with the food? There are examples in the Shastras, especially in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then the Lord is going to eat, is going to partake of the food being offered. Because food is not there. It's gone. The Lord has eaten the food. So he's quicker. It's quicker than your mind. Mine is fast. You are in India, up. Now you're in India. I can see Vrindavan in my mind. Mine is so fast. Krishna can surpass the mind. Okay, so here we are talking about a particular tattva. It's called Achintya Bed Abed tattva. Do you know? Can anyone explain this? Achintya Bed Abed.
Is simultaneously one and different.
Yes. So inconceivably and simultaneously one and different. This is the philosophy of Mahaprabhu. There's nothing higher than this. If there is something higher, I want to know. I'm interested. This philosophy reconciles all the contraries, all the opposite philosophies. So let's move on further into the questions. Of course, the whole verse is dealing with that. How can the Lord access every nook and corner of his creation if he is situated in one place? Anechat. Anechat means fixed. Let's hear from, let's see, who came us? Let's see who is haven't talked at all. Sorel, you want to explain this one?
Sure. So I said that he can be situated in one place, anajat, and also be in every nook and corner of his creation, because he is, those are his energies. So even though he is fixed in one place, like his energies can be in other places. And it's beyond, I quoted no one can approach the Lord by his own limited potency, because he is beyond the mind. Like you said, he is swifter than the mind, like you said as well. So we can't really fathom it.
Excellent. Excellent. Sorel, anyone would like to add up to that? Vignesh Pandit, you please say something. If you want to say anything else.
It's like one example is given in the purport. It's like an electric powerhouse, which is, although being situated in one particular place,
yes,
energies are given to all the machineries, which move around.
Yes.
So it's situated in one place, but still it can, a lot of multifarious energies can be given out. So
yes.
It's an example of Anejat.
Good. Okay, so basically, after some time, you would be able to, ideally, we should always substantiate our claim or answer with Shastra. Shastra Chakshu means you see through the eyes of Shastra. This is Vedi Bhakti. We are not on the level of Raganuga. I'm not a spontaneous in my love, personally. But I'm trying to see through the eyes of the Shastra, Shastra Chakshu. So after some time, you will see this is a good symptom that you are becoming proficient in your Bhakti Shastri. If you can start quoting verses to substantiate your point. Yeah? So, Parasya Shakti Vivedeva Shruyate Svabhaviki Gyanabala Kriyacha. This is the answer. So what does it mean? It means that basically we are parts and parcels. Jivatma means we are parts and parcels of the Lord, and he acts. He acts in different phases by manifesting his parts and parcels, we are simultaneously differently situated by his unlimited variegated potencies. In other words, there's only Krishna at work. When you boil it down to what it is, there's only Krishna. Shakti Matayo Abhidda. There's no difference between Shakti and Shaktiman. Shaktiman is the possessor of the energies. Who is the possessor? The Lord, Krishna. Vishnu, Allah, the same. So there's only he and his energies. So in one sense, there's only Krishna in this manifestation, spiritual and material. The rest is what? Is Shaktis. And Shakti Matayo Abhidda. There's no difference between the two. So in reality, there's only Krishna. There's only Krishna. Men at work. When you travel by car, sometimes you come across the sign, men at work. Did you see? So yes, yeah. they are engaged in different energy. They are using their energy for certain work, road work. So in the same way, all the energies are at work. For the sake of whom? For the sake of whom? You understand?
Of the Lord.
Yes. So in other words, all the energies are working for him. This is the verse. Parashya Shakti Vivideva Shriyate Svabhaviki Jnana Balakriyacha. We are all scattered about, the jivas and all the other energies. We are simultaneously differently situated by his unlimited variegated potencies. And each potency, Jnana Balakriya, each potency acts very naturally in sequences, and they provide him full knowledge, full power, full lila, lila Shakti also. Everything is Ashintya Shakti. Jiva Goswami used to say, unless you accept the Achintya Shaktis of the Lord, Achintya means inconceivable. There is no point to even discuss about spirituality. The problem with the Mayavadis, and try to, understand all these things, because you may have to use it in your debate. The problem with the Mayavadis and the impersonalists, they're under the impression, because there's transformation, Achintya Shakti, there is transformation of the energies, they're thinking the absolute truth has become altered. Thus, it has become contaminated. The absolute truth cannot be contaminated, because there is transformation, there is contamination. But little do they know that actually Goloka Nivasati Akilatma Bhuta is in Golok. Nivasati means to dwell, to live. But Akilatma Bhuta is also in everyone's heart. So even though his energies are working under his supervision, he himself is doing something else. He's playing in Golok with the Gopas, the Gopis, his mother, his father. It's a simple example in one sense. Bill Gates, big Mr. Bill Gates, Microsoft, he's playing golf in Bahamas Island, and all these companies are running smoothly all over the world. He's not there, but he has delegated, empowered different individuals to run the show. You understand?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I was reading one verse in Bhagavad Gita, Mayam Idam Tatam.
Yeah, 9.4. Very good. Very
And the purport, Srila.
Yes, 9.4.
Srila Prabhupada also gives a mention that just like a king, he he's in charge of the kingdom, but he's not present everywhere.
Exactly.
But his energy is present everywhere.
Yes.
By his, carried by different ministers and.
I think you have to double check your microphone or something, Golokananda Priya. Your voice is being distorted. Now we come to the.
I don't know. And maybe I should just change the.
Yeah, I'm just telling you because I mean, at least to my notice, is it the same for you all?
Yes.
Okay.
You can also turn your video off.
Yes.
That sometimes helps.
Yeah, definitely less bandwidth.
Do you hear now? Do you hear properly? Can I?
Yeah, definitely a little better.
Without the video?
Yeah, a little better for me at least. So now, what is this analogy with the heat and light of the sun? That's another verse. Very often, Srila Prabhupada, what does he do? He paraphrases verses. He strings up together verses. Did you notice in his purport? He just strings up verses, just like garlands, you know. That's what he does, Srila Prabhupada. He does that a lot. And again, Vignesh, did you pick up the verse he has strung here when it comes to sunlight, heat, and light?
Yes, I think he quoted a Vishnu Puran verse,
Yes,
1.22.53.
Yes.
Which says, Ekadesha Sitasya Agner,
Yes.
Jyotsna Vistarani Yatha, Parasya
Yes.
Brahmana Shakti, Yatha Idam Akhilam Jagat.
Yeah.
Just as the illumination of fire, which is situated in one place, is spread all over, the energies of the Supreme Lord, Parabrahma, also spread all over the universe.
Excellent. Everyone got that one? Was it clear? Now I'm going to share a beautiful verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm going to share my screen on Vedabase a little bit. Let me go back. Let me share. Okay, let me open Vedabase for you. This verse is supreme. Of course, Srimad Bhagavatam goes further than Sri Isho. You will see the beauty of this verse. Okay. So let me share. Okay, share. I go here. I share the sound. Share. Yes. That's it. Can you guys see this Vedabase?
Yes.
Okay. So now.
Yeah, which is the verse?
Okay, this is 3:27:12. Is spoken by Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev is the Supreme Lord. He's speaking at the third person because he's talking about himself, I believe. So, Karuna Kishori, would you like to read?
The Sanskrit and the
Okay,
translation?
okay, I'll spare you the Sanskrit. Go straight into the English.
Okay. The presence of the Supreme Lord can be realized just as the sun is realized first as a reflection on water, and again as a second reflection on the wall of a room, although the sun itself is situated in the sky.
Okay, let me move up the purport for you. Go ahead.
Okay. The example given herewith is perfect. The sun is situated in the sky, far, far away from the surface of the earth, but its reflection can be seen in a pot of water in the corner of a room. The room is dark, and the sun is far away in the sky, but the sun's reflection on the water illuminates the darkness of the room. A pure devotee can realize the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything by the reflection of his energy. In the Vishnu Purana, it is stated that as the presence of fire is understood by heat and light, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although one without a second, is perceived everywhere by the diffusion of his different energies. It is confirmed in the Isopanishad that the presence of the Lord is perceived everywhere by the liberated soul, just as the sunshine and the reflection can be perceived everywhere, although the sun is situated far away from the surface of the globe.
Isn't that a beautiful addition to what we are discussing?
Yes.
Remember that verse 3:27:12. See what's going to happen, you know, as you study more and more, you keep track. You know, that's what I've been doing for the last 30 years. I keep track. And I create, at least on papers, and gradually it goes into my mind, a thread. You know, talking, let's say you're talking about, you have particular drawers in your mind or in your file, in your computers, in your some textbooks, you know, like a drawer. Okay, we're talking about here, Achintia bed, abed, okay? There's that verse, that verse, that verse, that verse to corroborate your point. You know, it's an habit. It's called study habits. And it's like, it's fun. It's even exciting to do that because, you know, you see the underlying thread that Srila Prabhupada was seeing himself. Srila Prabhupada is like dancing on those books, taking a flower from here, taking another flower from there, and like stringing those flowers into garlands. Shlokas are like garlands. And it's become very poetic, actually. And this is going to be equipped with Shastra, Shastra Shakshu. You may not be a pure devotee, doesn't matter. If you see with Shastra, you're fine. You're well situated, extremely well situated. We'll discuss about pure devotion with the nectar of devotion in 1.1.11. But see, this is, you know, all these tattva are spread across the books of Srila Prabhupada. It's called tattva, subjects, categories. So you just try to build up your repertory of things like that, you know. Okay, so you stop me if you want to discuss, huh? What are the three, yes, millions of energies. Srila Prabhupada does say in 4, there's sub-energies these are categorized in millions of subheadings. It's amazing, actually. Millions, can you imagine? But there's 3 main ones, of course. What are those? The 3 main energy. Huh? We learned that very early when we joined.
I'm pretty sure it's the internal, the marginal, and the external. Yes,
you got 2. Huh? Okay, so try to put some tags. Huh? Sanskrit is a great. Remember, Sanskrit, not English, no French or Italian, whatever. Sanskrit, if you go to a different part of the world, different part of the creation, Sanskrit is spoken. Sanskrit is the Sanskriti. Sanskriti means culture. The culture of the universe. The culture of this Aryan civilization as being, how do you say, conveyed through Sanskrit. Since time immemorial. If you go back, do you know how far back the Bhagavatam goes? How far back? 2 billion years. 2 billion years. They spoke Sanskrit. So more you can capture words here and there. So internal energy, how do you say in Sanskrit? Vignesh?
Chit Shakti or Antaranga Shakti.
Yeah, Chit Shakti, Antaranga Shakti, Anta, Bahir, Nishingo, Ridaye. So Anta means? Within, yes. Antaranga, so this is the internal energy within. The journey home, Radhanath Swami, the journey home. I'm teaching a little something. Close the door. I'm teaching. He doesn't even ferme la porte. Son doesn't even, children, they're always at ease everywhere they go. Okay, so basically, internal energy, Antaranga Shakti, Chit Shakti, Svarup Shakti. Yes. It's non-different. What is that verse? Vishnu Puran. What is that? What is the verse? Vishnu Shakti Paraprukta Kshetra Gyakya Tatapara Avidya Karma Samgaya Tritiya Shakti Rishyate. Vishnu Shakti, Paraprokta. This is Vishnu is superior, higher energy. This is internal energy. Then Vishnu Shakti Paraprokta, Kshetra Gya Tata Para. The Kshetra Gya, the Jiv, we are Jivatma. We are distinct. We are distinct from one another. We are distinct from God. We are also Para. We are supreme. Can you imagine? We are supreme. But then, Avidya Karma Samgyanya, Tritiya Shakti Rishyati. There's a third energy. Tritiya means third. There's a third energy. This is called Avidya Karma Samgyanya. This energy, this external energy is avidya. Avidya means ignorance. And we tend to be caught up in the complexities of this energy. So that is three energies: internal Shakti, Vishnu, spiritual world, the Jiv, we are Tatashta, we are marginal. Tata means bank. A river moves between, the water of the river moves between two banks, cannot go beyond those two banks, isn't it? So in the same way, we, the Jivs, we are situated in the portion of Shit Shakti, it's called Tatashta. And we tend to move between the two banks, internal, external. We have free will. This is the prerogative of the Jivas. We have free will. Have you seen an expansion of the Lord acting whimsically against the Lord? Have you seen Nrsingadev? Have you seen Komadev, Ayagriva acting against Krishna? Yes or no?
And Vishnu, who stole the boys from the Brahmana, the kids, what was that?
I know that's fine, but my question is, have you seen any expansion of the Lord? Direct expansion is called Amsha. Have you seen any expansion of the Lord acting against Krishna?
No.
No, because they cannot. Why? Because they are direct expansion. Or they are expansion of an expansion. It's called Kala in Sanskrit. They are expansion of the Lord directly. They are the Lord himself expanding. But we are in a different category. It's called Vibhinna Amsha. Amsha, yes, but Vibhinna. Vibhinna means separated. And we have the prerogative, that's amazing actually. We can do something that even a Vishnu Tattva cannot do. We cannot act against Krishna. We can.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes. Who is speaking?
Is the internal potency also can be called Yogamaya?
Jyotamani, okay, go ahead.
I was asking if the internal potency of the Lord, the internal energy of the Lord can be.
Yes. Are we what?
Is the internal potency of the Lord, okay, the supreme one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So what is your question? I got, is the energy of the Lord the supreme one? Then what is the end of the question?
I think she was asking if the eternal
can be
potency
called
Yogamaya. Or
yeah. Yogamaya basically is the internal potency of the Lord. It's represented by Subhadra, Lady Subhadra, Jagannath, Baladev, or Purnamasi. Purnamasi is also, at times, is also called the internal potency. And she works combiningly with the Lila Shakti of the Lord in Vrindavan to enhance, to orchestrate, the Lilas. Well, okay, let's sum up. Three energies: internal, external, marginal. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhu,
Yes.
can you give example of each of the energy, like Chit,
Okay, you want to
Antaranga?
know, okay, I'll give you the Sanskrit name. Antaranga. Antaranga means internals, or it can be called Chit Shakti also, or Svarup Shakti, or sometimes it's called Svarup Shakti. That's the internal. Okay, it's in your chat. Then something happened here. Okay, now the external would be Bahir Nishingo. External is outside, is inside. Bahiranga, or Ashit Shakti, you could say also. Or what else? Vignesh, we could call it Apara Prakriti also. Apara Shakti, Apara Shakti. That's the external. Okay.
Maya Shakti.
Maya Shakti, definitely. Maya Shakti is good. And then the Jiv is Tatashta. Tatashta. Voilà. Tatashta Shakti. But be careful, Tatashta Shakti is Chit Shakti. It's a portion. So we are Paraprakriti. Jivabhuta Mahabaho Yajidanda Yate Jagat 7.5. We are para. We are superior. But unfortunately, avidya, karma, samgyanya, we have fallen, we have come under the dominion of the modes, of the clouds. It's quite amazing, actually, when you look at it very deeply. The sun creates the cloud, doesn't he? And the clouds have the power to obstruct your sight, your eyesight towards the sun. Even though we are beyond the clouds, we are more powerful than the cloud, isn't it? The cloud is, what is it? What is the cloud? It's condensed water. Yet, the cloud has the power to obstruct your vision of the sun. So in the same way, Maya is created by Krishna. And even though we are superior to Maya, in one sense, but yet she obstructs our vision. So why? It's a two-way traffic, because we want to be attracted by Maya, and she wants to attract us. You follow? It's like a woman and a man. You cannot just say the woman, well, she has attracted me. Okay, but you have also attracted her. It works both ways. So now Krishna says, luckily there is a way out. What does Krishna say in the Gita? In this regard, how to overcome Deviyesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durachaya, Mame Vaye Prapajante, Maya Mitam Tarantite. Someone who surrenders unto me, yes, he can overcome. So Krishna gives the nature of a predicament, but also he gives the solution. He's behind everything. He's the last word in transcendence. So he controls everything. Okay, pantheisms now. Srila Prabhupada gives a hint at pantheisms. What does he say? You answered quite properly in your different respective homework. Why don't you read out? As simple as that.
Prabhupada in this purport says, thus the different energies of the Lord are present everywhere. And although the Lord and his energies are non-different, one should not mistake these energies for the Supreme Lord. And so pantheism, is the belief that reality is identical with divinity. So he's hinting at it in that purport, but we should understand that, that the Lord is non-different from his energies, but it is also situated in his own swarup.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone got that point? Karuna Kishore is okay? You got it? Everyone? Sukumari, Vignesh knows everything, I know. I'm missing, there was another boy the other day. I forgot his name. He was a nice guy. He didn't come today. His name was...
Jeremiah.
Sorry?
Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah. Yeah. What happened to him? He dropped out?
He was here last week. I'm not sure where he went.
Yeah, I see. Okay. So basically, pantheisms, Prabhupada gives a very simple example. You take a piece of paper, and if you tear apart this piece of paper in, let's say, 100 parts, you scatter them, then this piece of paper is no more. You got it? So in the same way, those pantheists, they believe that because the Lord has dispatched himself, he has, like we say in English, he has grow himself so thin. You say that in English. Huh? You grow yourself so thin that he has diffused himself in the creation. Yes, he is there. I can see creation is God. Where is he? Well, it's diffused. But little do they know, this is the drawback. This is the crack of the matter is right here, my dear friends. The crack of the matter is right here. They got it wrong from that point onwards. They understand, because he has diffused himself, he is no more. This is Mayavad. This is impersonal. This is the crack of the matter. Right here. They don't understand that Achintya Shakti, Jiva Goswami is repeatedly making the same point. The Achintya Shakti do transform. Our philosophy is Parinamvad, yes. How do we account for the transformation of this variegated energy? And there's 84 lakhs of species of life. Look at through your window, there's different types of trees and everything. Okay, but it has happened by dint of transformation of the energy, but he himself doesn't become transformed. You understand? The Mayavadis are thinking, because there's transformation, there is alteration, there is contamination, thus it cannot be true, thus we kick out this theory of transformation of Vyasadeva, Parinambad. This is exactly the crack of the matter. This is where they got it wrong. No. Golokani Vasati Akilatma Buddha, because yes, his energy transformed himself. But he himself is beyond the energies. He is the energy, is also beyond. Krishna says in the Gita 15:16, there is Kshara and Akshara, okay? Fallible and infallible. But Krishna says, I'm the Purushottam, I'm beyond both, the infallible and the fallible. I'm that supreme person. Aham eva sam eva great. I was before the creation, I'm throughout the creation, during the creation, after the creation. He's always there. He's not being transformed in the least when his energies account for the variety of this material world. They are at work, men at work, they transform, they work. He himself doesn't work. He's Lila Purushottam. He's always revealing himself in pastimes of love with his pure devotees. So be careful with pantheisms, it's a trap. Okay. Now, even in mantra 4, there's quite a few clues that he is a person. Can you please share a few clues that he is a person? Vignesh gave a few, but someone can volunteer. Who else is there? We have less people. Before, it used to be like at least 10 or 12. Huh? It's decreasing.
It's also summer, Prabhu, you know.
Sorry?
That's the point.
That's summer,
it's also summer, so it
well, I mean, talking about 2 hours a week.
I mean,
2 hours a week. 2 hours plus a few 1 or 2 hours of homework. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm not taking the whole week. Okay, so Kubari, so please explain this point. Prove to me from mantra 4
okay,
that is a person, because see, you have to notice at this level, at this point in time, it's not clear. It's not like Bhagavad Gita, Aham Savasya Prabhavu, Mata Savam Pravatate. You know, it's Krishna Shibhagwan Uvacha. It's very clear. Krishna is on and on, is hammering the point home. Yes, I'm God. In the Shri Isha, it's a little less, you notice, it's a more subtle.
Yes.
But already we are still early in the show. We can already pick up a few strong points that is a person. Can you share, Vishnukumari?
From the purport, I try to find
Yes.
some hints from Prabhupada. So
Yes.
whenever he says like the personality of Godhead or the absolute person or the Lord, that would
Yes.
for me indicate that God is a person.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when he hints at his transcendental abode or the kingdom of God, that means there must be like a person who is like, who lives somewhere.
Yes.
He is not just some white light somewhere, but a person who lives at a certain place.
Yes.
And then I thought when there's a mention of his energies, I thought, okay, if it's his energies, then he cannot just be energy himself. It must be a source
Very
of
good.
his energies.
That's a good one. See, this is a point of grammar. You got to have a point. She made a very good point. His is a possessive pronoun. His.
Oh, okay.
His. I mean, it's simple English. See, even in French, ses énergies, his energies. So possessive. There's a possessor of his energies. His. Who is his? Who is he? Grammar is, when you study grammar, I don't know if you detected that, it's quite absolute grammar. The way it works, it's almost mathematical. It's got an absolute touch to it. I noticed that. Because I teach English and French, so I always delve into grammar with my students. So, but his energies, there's something, it belongs to whom, those energies? So a very good point. Anything else? Vignesh, you picked up quite a few points in your answer. You can share perhaps. Thank you, Sukumari.
Mm-hmm.
One was that which is striking, like the dhavato, he runs. So running is
Yes.
an example of personality.
Yes. If you run, is it an allegory? If you run, you're a person, you got legs. What else?
It also says that Upanishad very clearly suggests that absolute truth is ultimately the absolute person.
Yeah, definitely. And you will see it's coming up very clearly in mantra 15. Hiranmayena patrina sasya syapaitam mukham. Please remove your dazzling effulgence. I cannot see you. The devotee is not baffled. He knows. Oh, okay, it's quite blinding. Please remove, my dear Lord. It's okay, I appreciate, but please remove it. He's not like bewildered. Okay, I'm going to stop here now. He's totally okay. It's quite straightforward, and you are grown-up devotees. So, I mean, Shri Isho is obviously one of the primordial book that we learn when we join, basically. So, should be quite straightforward for you. And then we'll finish up with this. The energy of the jiva. We're talking about before last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada talks about the onus. We have this prerogative to partake properly of our free will, or we may also misuse. So anyone would like to share on this one? Because I may be the devil's advocate, but I say, well, we belong to God. You say you belong to God, okay? So I have no power of my own. Then I'm just like it's called determinisms. It's everything is bound up. Everything is planned out. So I have to follow. I have to go through the motions because I belong to Him. I cannot act independently. I'm his. Okay, I got you. I'm his, and I have to basically move on with the flow. Is it what it is? This is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Because someone may come to this conclusion, because he may exercise some material logic to it. Do you understand what I'm saying? What do you have to say to that? Since we belong to Krishna, to God, we may conclude, well, we have no initiative of our own. Someone may come up with this argument. So theology means you have to be able to address the issue and nicely and with no false ego. You have to be able to put everything back on track with Shastra, without hurting the person. Prabhupada says everything, and you just have to read out the before last paragraph. What does he say? We have to play the part designated for us. It's quite an amazing concept, the Jivatma. It means we are distinct. Can you imagine? We are distinct and we are unique. Can you find someone else like you? No one. This is, when you look, even that itself is mind-boggling. You have to contemplate the tattva. Can you find a twin, like those twin brothers, in Mayapur? One left already, Pankaj and Prabhu. They are different, but I lived 12 years in Mayapur, 10 years. They are different. They look the same. People used to say, I cannot make out who is who. I can make out. They are twins, but still they are different. So Jiv means we are distinct, eternally distinct. We have our own relationship with Krishna. So please address the issue. Because it's part and parcel of the Lord, he must partake of the initiative of the Lord as well. So we may conclude, well, I cannot move on my own. He lifts up his hand. I have to lift up my hand also because I'm his. He controls me. Is it like that?
I would say no.
Yes, well, you have to develop.
No, that's it. I would say to the person, like there's an analogy of like being part of Krishna's family. So we all, where like Krishna is the father, and the family just works well together. When
Yes.
when everybody works in accordance with Krishna's will, or plan, or desires. So we have our own nature, our own active nature, the initiative Prabhupada talks about.
Yes.
And if we are like individuals, we have our own way of doing things, our own talents and facilities, and the body we have, and the place where we live maybe, and different facilities, different abilities, and we can use that in Krishna's service.
Yes, very true. Excellent.
The
very
way
good,
that
Sukumari.
we are.
Sukumari, very good. Yeah, actually, not in the Shri show. Thank you for that. You did a very good job. Not in the Shri show, but Srila Prabhupada elsewhere says that everyone pleases the Lord in his own ways, and this way varies from one to the other. In other words, all of us, we have a particular forte, Isn't that true? I mean, you may have drawbacks, but you also excel in particular domains. So that is your prerogative. And you excel, it's a second nature for you. So now this is where you can play your part. Design that part is meant to be. We are meant to be enjoyed by the Lord that's the last word. We are meant to be enjoyed by him. So in doing so, we have to play our part, which has been designated. Well, you may say, well, I don't know. What is my part? How do I know my part? So what do you answer to that? So you have always to go deeper. This is theology. How do I know my part? Sorel, now it's your turn.
How do we know our part? I assume we know our part based off of the Vedic knowledge, based off of everything that we're being told of how to be enjoyed by the Lord or have him reveal himself to us is everything that we're reading. It's telling us what to do.
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah.
Anyway, as we evolve in Krishna consciousness, as we become purified, in the beginning, we are a mixed bag, like we say in Sanskrit, Kalo Shudra Sambhava. We are all in Kali Yuga, everyone is Shudra, which is kind of true. And we join, we don't know where we at. We are totally baffled and illusion, and we have been battered by the material energy. Then we join, and we are being told, yes, you have to become purified. You are extremely covered over. Yes, so we become purified. And we chant, and we read, and we do service. And after some time, it comes out. It's crystal clear that, yes, I like this. Within Krishna consciousness, this is what I like. So we kind of become specialized after some time, not immediately. Jack of all trades in the beginning. Please do clean the dishes, do some books. You got second initiation, can you please do some arati? There's a dearth of pujaris, repair the car, etc. So it's fine. But after some time, didn't you notice you become a bit more assertive? Yes, I like this, and because you like this, you start to, put your mind into it, your energy. It's a matter of energy, and then Krishna appreciates that, and he says in the Gita, I'm the aptitude in man, in woman, in living beings. I'm the aptitude. So gradually you start polishing the rough edges of the diamond. We are all diamonds, we are spirit souls, but it's a bit rough edges, So, and gradually we have found our sweet spot. We have found our, I could say, niche, but we should not be cozy in that niche, because Krishna says 245, don't become attached to don't make a place a permanent settlement in this world. Don't become homely in this world. You're going to be kicked out anytime. But still, while we move towards the exit, we should find our specialty. We should, yes, this is how I feel I can do something special for the Lord within that domain, within that activity. So that is wanted in Krishna consciousness. I'll finish off with a purport I want you to read. It's the liberty purport, the freedom purport. It's a very, very important purport. Let me share. Someone can read out. Let me share. Okay, so yes, right here, share, yes. Okay, that's it. So we are into 1637. This is Bhagavatam. Narad has come to instruct his disciple, Srila Vyasadeva, and he's talking about his absolute liberty. Narad Muni can travel everywhere. It's like a transcendental spaceman, isn't he? Now, look at the purport here. Someone can read out. Jacob, you read. Similarly, the transcendental system, go ahead.
Sure. Similarly, the transcendental system of devotional service is also free. It may or may not develop in a particular person, even after he undergoes all the detailed formulas. Similarly, the association of the devotee is also free. One may be fortunate to have it, or one may not have it even after thousands of endeavors. Therefore, in all spheres of devotional service, freedom is the main pivot. Without freedom, there is no execution of devotional service. The freedom surrendered to the Lord does not mean that the devotee becomes dependent in every respect. To surrender unto the Lord through the transparent medium of the spiritual master is to attain complete freedom of life.
See? Thank you, Jacob. So what do you make out of this section? Isn't that deep?
So generally in a relationship where we would surrender to a master in the material world, it would seem that we were under their control.
Yes.
And in this purport, we're being told that actually by surrendering to Krishna, we're gaining the only real freedom that exists, which is transcendental freedom.
Yes, exactly. That's one aspect to it. There's more to it, but this is definitely one of the points. So in other words, more we surrender, more we become free. Look at Srila Prabhupada. Look at Srila Prabhupada. All his life, he struggled to achieve the end of his Guru Maharaj. He tried and tried. League of Devotees, 1954, UP, India, fiasco. He tried, penniless. He tried in America, 65, he came. Big struggle first year. Extremely. You have seen, Nilamrit, you read. I mean, it's considering sometimes when he hears the sirens of the boats, he can hear from his room, perhaps I should go back. I mean, he's been trying to help from his godbrothers, from Vice President of India, from Sumati Moralji, on and on. First year was hellish, you have seen. Difficult. And gradually, Krishna rewarded him even beyond. Prabhupada used to say, it's mentioned in the book of Ayagriva Prabhu, the Hare Krishna explosion, 66, 69. Prabhupada himself said, it's beyond my expectations. Prabhupada even himself said, it's beyond my expectations. I didn't expect that much. Krishna reciprocated so much, he gave him, what did he give him? He gave him the scope of the whole planet. He gave him one planet. He said, look, it was hard, you take the planet. This is your kshetra. This is your field of activity. Can you imagine? At the end of his life, how Krishna reciprocated. This is one aspect. Thank you, Jacob. But look at before that. Very interesting. It's mind-boggling. Similarly, it may or may not develop. The transcendental system of devotional service may or may not develop in the particular person even after he undergoes all the detailed formulas. It's a very deep sentence. It means what? It means you cannot purchase bhakti. It's not due to you. You may be practicing everything 50 years, whatever, you're a good devotee. Still, you cannot expect it's a due now. She has to reciprocate with my hard endeavor. No. Bhakti is always independent. Always independent. Similarly, the association of devotees is also free. One may be fortunate to have it or may not have it, even after thousands of endeavors. See, Bhakti, Sadhu Sangha is never to be taken for granted. It's totally internal Shakti. It doesn't function with material logic. It's the grace of the Lord. It's the grace of the Madhyama Adhikari. You cannot expect, now it's okay. It's Krishna is forced to reciprocate. Bhakti has to reciprocate with my hard endeavors. No, never. She's always free. She may not. Freedom is the main pivot. And again, this is intertwined with last paragraph of mantra 4, because we exercise our designated part, then we may, Krishna is happy. Okay, he's trying, now I can see he's trying, he's using his brain to serve me. He's good at that, so he's using that. So, yes. Srila Prabhupada, one time he was practically leaving the body, and he told Giriraj Maharaj, he was not Maharaj in those days, do you think this Krishna consciousness will go on after I leave? So Giraj Prabhu, in those days, he said, well, we'll carry on chanting 16 rounds, 4 rags. Prabhupada said, it's not enough. You need intelligence and organization. And he had to hear very feebly because Prabhupada's voice was so dim, feeble. And he had him repeat himself. Yeah, organization, intelligence. So definitely we have to play our part. If we are good somewhere, this is the way we're going to, we have to find this propensity, this part. Hare Krishna, I'll stop here. I'm sorry I went 5 minutes over time. Any questions? Let me close down, shut down the sharing, okay? So Rel is okay? You're following nicely?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep sneezing a lot. That's why I keep
okay. I didn't even know.
That's why I seem out of it too, because I keep like having to sneeze and blow my nose.
Is it cold there? Is it cold in Arizona? I thought Arizona was Grand Canyon.
It's really hot. But yeah, I'm following, but I probably will have some questions eventually that I can maybe email you.
Feel free to. You got my WhatsApp, everyone. Huh? If you want to contact me on WhatsApp,
Thank you.
Does everyone has my WhatsApp, or I can give you, by the way, perhaps if you don't have it.
I think we all have it.
You have it, all have it, okay. Good.
Yeah, we have it in a group, Prabhu. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
It's in a group.
So you don't have to wait until next, because we meet every 2 weeks basically. So you can feel on my mail, on my. Okay, so we'll start here.
I do have a question.
Yes, please.
It seems that I got a bit mixed up or something with the questions 2 and 3.
Yes.
Somehow I didn't notice when you shifted to the question 3 part. So I was curious about like the distinction between those 2.
Yeah, mantra 3 or 4?
2 and 3. Like 2 was that he's in one place but can access the whole material world too. And then 3 is he is fixed but moving quickly.
Okay, so you didn't get the answers?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so
he kind of combined them. I think that's why. Like we talked about the Anajit fixed, and then he went. I think he just kind of smoothly moved us into the.
That's fine. Okay, I just because I just felt like when I did the homework, first I thought they were the same, but then I thought no, they're actually different. But
it's it's one and different.
Right. Okay.
So basically, you want me to repeat, Sukumari, or I mean, I can do that, so no problem.
I mean, I got like question 2 was he is a person in his place, and then through his different energies, he can access the whole manifestation. Exactly. And the third one was he is fixed and then moving quickly, like as a person he can move. Where you said that he is faster than the mind, because when he takes the food, he can come here immediately. Was that the point with the moving quickly?
So basically, is fixed in the sense that Goloka Nivasati Akilatma Bhuta. Nivasati means to live, to dwell. He lives there. Krishna never lives one step out of Vrindavan. So he never lives Vrindavan. Aprokot, prakot. Aprokot, prakot. Manifested, non-manifested. But, and how is the whole world going about then? By dint of his energies, Achintya Shakti. They work for him. They transform. This our philosophy is called Parinamvad, the philosophy of transformation. This is the philosophy of Srila Vyasadeva. One of the Sad Darshan is Parinamvad. This is our philosophy. Parinamvad, the theology of transformation. So in other words, what is this creation? It's a transformation of the stream of nature. What do we see all about? It's just transformation of the modes, and it totaling up to 84 lakhs of species of life. So there's transformation. We're going through sadvika, the transformation of body. There is birth, there is growth, then we stagnate. We want to reproduce, we want progeny, then decay, then death. Any living being goes through those transformations. So energies transform themselves, the body decays every second, but he himself is fixed, is elsewhere. It's like a spider, Sukumari. You have seen the spider? Spider will unwind, display the cobweb and extend it for some time to catch some prey. And then in the course of time, it's called nirodha. Nirodha means retraction. It's going to wind up the energies. But you follow?
Yeah, so it's like this word arashat was like moving quickly, and I thought that was meaning that he overcomes everybody running. So I thought that was like pertaining to his personal form, how he expands personally and then comes to his devotees when we chant, or I don't know, things like that, I thought.
In other words, you have to understand his energies are all pervasive. So in no time, he can understand what's going on in Tucson, Arizona.
So it was not meant like the Vishnu Tattva.
Not by dint of his energy, he's aware, because his energy is providing with Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. They provide him with knowledge, action, power. So he's aware instantly, simultaneously, he's aware of everything at the same time. Even if you change your mind, even if you change your mind again, he's aware of your new mind, of your new plan. He's always ahead of you. Ahead of you. Because his energies are not different from him. He's different, but he's non-different. So he knows everything by dint of his energies. They are spread all over the creation. What is Brahman? Savam Kavinam Brahma, everything rests on Brahman. Brahman, Krishna says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Brahman is just, I'm the source of Brahman, Arjuna. Brahman is just the radiance of his transcendental body. And everything is resting on Brahman. But in the spiritual world, in the material world, nothing escapes Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Krishna says, I'm the source, I'm Para-Brahman. So, he knows everything. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. If you are, because I don't want to push it further, it's 15 minutes late now. So you contact me on my mail or WhatsApp. Hare Krishna, everyone. So have a nice week.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
And keep well. All the best for your life. We have to help each other. Huh? We are on the same boat. So
thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
We should always be a close-knit group, to make sure we. Next time, thank you, Sukumari. I will make it a point to sing that beautiful shlok. Yeah, it goes in that direction. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, if you give us a question, some of the question is not clear. Can we email you and ask you?
Again, Mataji, your voice is quite distorted. It's difficult to make out.
Why is it?
Yeah, Haribol, everyone.